If your close rate is under 70%, you're not bad at sales. You're just missing a system. And in restoration, where every single lead costs real money, a 10% increase in close rate can literally change your entire business. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through my 9-step restoration closing rate maximizer. This is the exact framework that we use to push towards 75 to 80% close rate on qualified restoration leads. And here's my promise to you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do, exactly what to say, and where most restorers accidentally kill the sale. Let's dive in. All right, so let's be honest for a second. Leads are hard. They're expensive. Online marketing costs you hundreds of dollars per click. Agents, plumbers, and property managers, that costs you time, referral fees, relationships, and a ton of energy. But the biggest problem in restoration isn't necessarily lead generation. The real problem is this. We're actually pretty decent at attracting leads, but we're mediocre in the industry at closing them. Traditional service companies like plumbing companies, HVAC, solar, spend countless hours training their home service reps on how to get the sale. They have buttoned-up systems and processes on how to actually sell a lead. But restorers rely on the ease of this work authorization pitch and the insurance process, which is a double-edged sword. It's easier to sell the easy leads, but on the flip side, you have this whole headache with the insurance game and the actual pitch. Here's the biggest mistake I see every restorer make. They think that winning the job means being the most technical person in the room. And if you talk with every restorer, they're so proud. They walk into a wet house and they start firing off the ISCR CS 500 standard, relative humidity, dehumidifiers, air movers, and mold threats. If you don't dry out your basement, you're gonna get a bunch of mold and die from it, right? That's the typical sales pitch. Meanwhile, the homeowner's literally thinking, I'm stressed, my house is wet, and I don't know what to do, and I don't trust this guy. But here's the truth. You don't win restoration jobs with technical mastery. You win with trust, emotional certainty, and control. Write this down and teach this to your team. Because sales isn't magic. It isn't charisma. Selling and restoration is simply systems. And here are the 9 steps that I'm gonna go through today. Step number 1 is the first impression. Very important. Step number 2, establishing the illusion of control. Step number 3, immediate value. Step number 4, discovery. Step number 5, rapport. Step number 6, the ask. Step number 7, objection handling. Step number 8, the close. Step number 9, follow-up. Now let me show you exactly what each one of these looks like in the real world. Starting with step number 1, first impression. The first impression starts before you even see the water. It starts on the phone. Most restoration companies answer the phone like this. Hello, restoration 123. Yeah, what's up? No, you need a warm, calm, confident, compassionate voice. Here's a script you literally can read out loud. Hey, you're calling Rum Exterior Restoration. This is Alex speaking. I'm really sorry you're dealing with this. How can I help you right now? From there, you go on and qualify. Internally, you're checking for 3 things. Is this a service we provide? Is it in our service area? And are they willing to have a professional come out and take a look? If they start price shopping on the phone, do not play the range game. Say this, I totally understand why you're asking. I just can't price this accurately over the phone right now. What I can do is send a professional out free of charge to assess the damage and help you right now. The biggest mistake I see most restorers do is they outsource their phone answering service. And the reality is if you do that, you're not gonna have control over the very first impression. And that is the number 1 indicator on whether or not you are gonna win the job or lose the job. The second first impression is arrival. And this is where most restorers lose points without even realizing it. The homeowner's watching you before you even knock on the door. They're looking at your truck. They're noticing how you park. They're subconsciously asking themselves, do I trust this person with my home? So slow it down. Make sure your trucks are clean. Not perfect, just clean. Professional appearance is very important. Having a branded shirt, being able to have your shirt tucked in, nothing sloppy. When I would be in the field selling jobs, before I even parked, I would ask myself a simple question. Am I showing up like a professional or am I showing up like somebody chasing a job? And that simple mindset shift made a difference in how I showed up. Parking on the street is very important also. Ask permission before you park in the driveway. That small question immediately signals respect. And before you knock, do a self-check. Shirt tucked in, your phone's away, your shoulders are back, you're calm, steady, and you got great energy. And then when you knock, don't just stand over the door. You take a couple steps back. You give them space. You stand upright with your hands visible. You're not rushing in. You're not selling. You're showing up as a calm professional who's here to help, and that energy gets felt immediately. Which brings me to step number 2, which is the illusion of control. This step alone will increase your close rate by an order of magnitude or absolutely kill it if you don't do it the right way. Homeowners didn't plan on a stranger entering into their home during one of the most stressful moments of their life. Your job is to give them the sense of control back. Think about it. For the preceding hour to 2 hours before them calling you out, they either had firefighters rampaging through their property or had plumbers busting up walls and fixing pipes. And they had water in places that they never wanted. They're at a point where they don't feel like they're in control of anything within their lives. As a first responder, your job is to give them a sense of control back. And the fastest way to do that is simply by asking a bunch of permission-based questions constantly. May I come in? Of course the homeowner is going to let you come in. Would you prefer boot covers on or shoes off? Is it okay if I look in here in this one closet? May I open up this cabinet? Even when it feels obvious, just ask anyway. Psychologically, this tells the homeowner that I'm respected, I'm in control, and this person is here to serve me on my terms. Which brings me to step number 3 in the process, which is immediate value. Before discovery, before paperwork, before the pitch, the IICRC standard, the air movers, you want to deliver immediate value to the homeowner. In restoration, the fastest way to earn trust is to help first. Say this: before we talk about anything, let me see if I can stop this from getting worse. And here are some examples: shutting off active water, a temporary shark bite fix, getting the sump pump up and running, saving photos and sentimental items, preventing further damage in any way you can. My favorite types of jobs to establish this immediate value were sump pump jobs. It would be the greatest thing ever. You'd walk in and the homeowner would have 1 to 2 feet of water in the basement. Here in Chicago, we have basements. And you go up to the sump pump and just a little bit of a shake would get that floater unstuck and the pump would kick on and the entire water of the basement would start receding. Now I'm sitting in front of the homeowner, delivering them immediate value as they're watching the water go down, down, down the drain. You'll literally feel the shift. And the homeowner goes from panic to relief. And that relief gets associated with you. Which brings me to step number 4. You earn the right to begin discovery. And this is the step most people skip. And if you don't have proper discovery, whatever technical solution comes out of your mouth won't be taken seriously. The best salespeople lead with curiosity, not explanations. This is straight out of the Sandler sales method. Sandler discovery is not about gathering facts. It's about uncovering a pain, impact, and decision dynamics. You're not interrogating the customer in discovery, you're diagnosing. So instead of rapid fire questions and just going through the motions, you slow down and you guide a conversation. You ask them questions like, what's your biggest concern right now? This is the Sandler pain question. You're looking for emotional language, not technical answers. Things like, is there anything coming up where timing matters? This kind of surfaces things like, oh, they have a kid's birthday party coming up, or some guests coming in town, or travel, or work. And this basically drives urgency without you pushing. You ask them questions about like, hey, have you done restoration before? What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? What do you know about it? And this exposes landmines. You're learning exactly what not to do if you win this job. And this is where deals are saved. If you skip discovery, you'll get blindsided later, and whatever solution you give to the customer won't be taken seriously because the customer won't feel like it fits them. Which brings you to step number 5, rapport. Rapport is about building trust. And ultimately, the fundamental truth about sales is that people buy from people they like and trust. And this is where you show your prospect or the homeowner 2 things at the same time. 1, that you're a human, they should trust you. And 2, that you're an expert. The first part is easy. You just find common ground. And the easiest way I found to build rapport is to look and connect with the homeowner in one of 4 areas: family, travel, hobbies, or where they're from. And you essentially look around the house for clues, photos, sports gear, souvenirs, maybe kids' artwork, and you find that, oh, me too moment, right? Like, oh, I've got a kid. What are your kids' names? Oh, my kids are, Sammy, Luke, and Bobby. And you do this not to go on a tangent. You just want to create a bond between you and the homeowner. Now, the second part is expertise. And this is where you calmly answer questions. You want to let them know how long you've been in business. You explain how you typically handle situations exactly like this one, in a calm tone, with empathy, confident pacing. You say something along the lines of, I know this is stressful, but we do this every day, and we'll walk you through it step by step. At this point, they're not evaluating you anymore. They're trusting you. And then you can move on to step number 6, which is the ask. My favorite part. And only now do you do this. If you ask prematurely, you'll be looked at like a Wolf of Wall Street. Here's the exact script that I would use. Based on what I'm seeing, we can take care of this all for you. All we need you to get started is to have you sign this work authorization. I can have a crew here within the next 30 minutes. Do you have any questions or concerns before we start? If you ask too early, you'll hear, I need to talk to my husband, which actually means I don't trust you yet. So you have to go back to rapport and discovery to make sure that those are covered. As far as the ask goes, this is where I want to challenge you. If you've done the steps correctly, 1 through 6, you've actually earned the right to make a stronger ask for your restoration company. Most restorers default to a blanket work authorization to start the job and then wait forever to get paid. But when trust is built and control is established, and then those pain points are discovered, value is delivered, and rapport is real. The conversation ends up shifting. You may be able to ask the homeowner to finance the entire project up front. And when a job is homeowner financed, it becomes cost incurred, which makes the entire insurance process cleaner and payment easier for everyone involved. And if paid in full financing isn't the right fit, you can just go back down to step number 2, which would be at least you're comfortable asking for a deposit before the work begins. A stronger sales process earns you a stronger ask. After this step, only one of 2 things would happen. They either sign or they give you an objection, which brings me to step number 7, objection handling. When you get an objection, your job is to find the real objection. And this is straight out of the Sandler sales method. In Sandler, objections are not pushback, they're signals. They tell you there's still uncertainty around pain, money, trust, or decision authority. So instead of arguing, defending, or over-explaining, what you want to do is slow the conversation down. And you want to isolate the objection. You want to clarify it, then you want to address it calmly. The goal is not to win an argument. The goal is to help the homeowner feel safe enough to move forward. Now let me show you how this works in the real world. Insurance objection, for example. When a homeowner asks, will insurance cover this? They're not asking about insurance coverage. They don't care about the insurance company. They're asking, am I going to get stuck with a massive bill? So you don't just reassure blindly, you verify. You can say this, that's a totally fair question. Let's verify your policy dates right now. I'll even help you file a claim while I'm here. Then what you do is you remove the downside risk. And if coverage becomes an issue, you still need to get the work done, Miss Homeowner. We'll cap your out-of-pocket cost at X number. And what we'll even do to make sure that you're protected is we'll be able to finance it for you at 0% APR for 36 months. Now, there's a preferred vendor objection too. When somebody says the vendor is coming, that's a no-no. That's hesitation. And this is where you ask a clarifying question, not a rebuttal. You ask them, what would need to be true for you to cancel that next estimate and move forward with us right now? Then you calmly reframe. The carrier is a financial institution. Their vendor's job is to control the carrier's cost. Our job is protecting your home and doing the scope right. It might take a few turns of a dance, but again, remember, the goal is to isolate the objection, then clarify it, then address it calmly. And after you handle the objections, you can move on to step number 8, which is the close. And the close is simply similar to the ask. Does that feel fair? If so, let's get this signed and we can start drying and prevent it from getting worse. Then you stop talking. Silence is part of the close. From here, you want to bring the customer to value as quickly as possible. This means making sure that the customer knows that from the time they sign that contract to the time a crew's at the door is very short. Imagine a crew showing up there right away or within 30 minutes while the contract's getting signed. And then you want to stay there ideally until the crew comes and help the customer with whatever they might need. Which brings me to step number 9, the follow-up. And this is in the case that the customer didn't actually close with you on the first step. Most restorers lose hope the moment that they leave, and that's a mistake. If the customer didn't sign, schedule a follow-up before you walk out. If they had another vendor come out, just ask them, when's that other contractor coming? Do you mind if I text you right away after they leave? And then actually do it professionally, calm, and consistent. And you want to keep following up on leads at least every 24 hours until you know for a fact that the job has been lost. At Albi, we estimate that as much as 2 out of 5 leads that end up not closing during the initial process close with a great follow-up sequence. And you can even automate that entire sequence with AI bots and a lot of other cool tech, but that's for another video. Now, those are your 9 steps. And if you truly believe that your company does the job right, selling isn't selfish, it's service. Every job you lose because you didn't run a system is a homeowner that you could have helped but didn't. If you want this 9-step checklist, the phone script, the work auth asked, and the top 3 objection responses in this video, comment close below and I'll get them in your inbox. And if you want more tactical restoration systems like this one, hit subscribe and I'll see you on the other side.